الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Beloved brothers and sisters in Islam, Alhamdulillah, in our fiqh this evening we start a new chapter. We start Kitabun Nikah, inshallah, the chapter of marriage. And as we begin this chapter, we recognize that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has permitted and legislated that nikah may occur. In the Quran, Allah mentions, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, فَانْكِحُوا مَا طَابَ لَكُم مِّنَ النِّسَاءِ, that you may choose women to get married to and enter into marriage. In fact, Allah mentions, مَا طَابَ لَكُم مِّنَ النِّسَاءِ, that you choose good women. And the word that we have for marriage is the word nikah and nikah. And we might know this term quite commonly when an invitation goes out and they indicate on that invitation the nikah is at this masjid at that time, and then there's maybe a reception as well. But nikah literally or technically in the Sharia refers to the contract that a man and lady enter into in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that contract is put through at what we call the nikah. So the author says at the beginning of this chapter, the author mentions the ruling, which is what we are looking at this evening. The author says, "An-nikahu mustahab liman yahtaj ilayhi." That marriage is recommended, that's the ruling, is mustahab for the person or anyone who needs it. And then there's a really well-known hadith which is mentioned, I think, in many instances when the khutbatul nikah is delivered, which is a beautiful hadith. It is repeated by ulama, for centuries. And this hadith is the one that we find in Bukhari and Muslim on the authority of Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiallahu anhu. He says that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam addressed youth and said, "Ya ma'ashara al-shabab, man istata'a minkum al-ba'a falyatazawwaj." O respected honorable youth, whoever from amongst you has ba'a, has the capacity, falyatazawwaj, then that person should get married. فَإِنَّهُ أَغَضُّ لِلْبَصَرِ وَأَحْصَنُ لِلْفَرْجِ وَمَنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَعَلَيْهِ بِالصَّوْمِ فَإِنَّهُ لَهُ وِجَاءٌ. But if for verily marriage, firstly, it restrains the eyes, it prevents the eyes from wandering. Secondly, it protects one from immorality. And the Prophet says, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, but if you do not have this ba'a, this capacity, then you should rather fast because it will shield you from evil. Now, what's really beautiful in this particular hadith is the understanding of the word ba'a. And I think, mashallah, those who are present in the masjid, the vast majority of you are married, alhamdulillah. And when someone young comes forth and says, I want to get married, this question of ba'a is critical, And when the mufassirin and the muhaddithin and the scholars, the fuqaha, interpret this word ba'a, they say ba'a consists of 3 areas, which is what I'd like us to try and remember, inshallah. Firstly, that the man must have the sexual capacity for the marriage. Secondly, the man must have the financial capacity for the marriage. And thirdly, in ba'a, the man must be able to handle the responsibility and have the maturity for the marriage. When the man has those 3 qualities, then they fulfill ba'a and they can get married. Now, the general ruling of nikah is sunnah. And that we get from the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, an-nikahu min sunnati. That's the general ruling. But nikah can also follow other rulings. Nikah can be makruh. When is nikah makruh? Disliked. When it is a time of war. When there is a war occurring, it is disliked. Because of course, when a couple gets married, they have a hope of, having a long life together. So during the time of war, it is disliked. Nikah is haram. When is it haram? When the man does not have the ability to satisfy the spouse. If that is confirmed medically and then nothing can be reversed, then he can't get married. And when is nikah wajib? And sometimes, mashallah, the youngsters, they tell me it is wajib now for me to get married. Nikah is wajib when you fear that you're going to commit zina. Then it goes from sunnah, mustahab, to wajib. So we close with a summary of this evening's fiqh, that marriage, the general ruling is that it is sunnah, it is recommended. One must have ba'a, the capacity, and we also acknowledge that nikah can follow different rulings, inshallah. And with that, we are into Kitabul Nikah, the chapter of marriage. Wa sallallahu wa sallam alayhi wa alhamdulillah. So yes, so very good question there. The question is, during Hajj, can you get married? So of course it is not permissible for you to get married when you're in a state of ihram. And the person, the marriage, and the one performing the marriage, of course that, they are not permitted to engage in that act. You can't get married, you can't propose, you can't get married, and you can't contract the marriage. Those three areas. Jazakallah khair.